A few years back, a behavioral psychologist carried out a simple experiment. Two men, same appearance, same clothing, same environment, approached women at a social gathering. The only difference, just two words, two simple words that one of them used right at the beginning of the conversation. The outcome was astonishing. One man was mostly ignored, while the other had women leaning closer, laughing and wanting to keep talking. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what those two words are and the deeper psychological reason they work across every layer of human attraction. Stay with me because this is going to permanently change how you communicate. Welcome back. If you're new here, this channel focuses on one core idea: understanding the psychology behind human behavior so you can live, connect, and communicate on a higher level. Today, we're going deep into the science of attraction. Not shallow advice or cheap tricks, but the real psychological mechanisms that make someone irresistibly engaging in conversation. And it all begins with two words. But before I reveal them, you need to understand why they work. Because knowing what, without understanding why, is like holding a key without knowing which door it unlocks. So let's start from the beginning. Let me introduce you to Marcus. Marcus was 28 years old, reasonably good-looking, had a stable job, and by all measures was a decent person. But whenever he tried to talk to a woman he liked, something would go wrong. He'd freeze. He'd fall back on generic lines like, "Hey, how's your night going?" Or, "So, what do you do for work?" The women would respond politely, smile, and then slowly drift away. Marcus couldn't understand it. He was being kind. He was asking questions. He was doing everything he had been told to do. And still, nothing worked. One evening, a close female friend sat him down and told him something that changed everything. She said, "Marcus, when you talk to me, it feels like you're interviewing me, like I'm applying for a job and you're going through a checklist." That hit him hard, because it was true. Marcus wasn't actually having a conversation. He was performing one. Everything shifted the night Marcus stopped trying to say the right thing and started saying the real thing. And that transformation came down to two words. Here's what most people fail to understand about attraction. It's not mainly visual. Yes, appearance matters at first glance. Evolutionary psychology supports that. But lasting attraction, the kind that makes someone think about you hours after you've left, comes from something entirely different. It comes from how you make someone feel when they're around you. This is where neuroscience becomes fascinating. Researchers at the University of Parma discovered something remarkable: mirror neurons. These are brain cells that activate not only when we perform an action, but also when we observe someone else doing it. In simple terms, your nervous system mirrors the emotional state of the person in front of you. So what does that mean for attraction? It means that if you enter a conversation feeling anxious, unsure, and overly focused on the outcome, she feels that too. Subconsciously, her nervous system picks up on it, and suddenly she feels slightly uneasy or tense without fully knowing why. But here's the other side of that coin. If you walk into a conversation grounded, present, and genuinely curious, she feels that as well. Her mirror neurons respond. She feels calm, noticed, and energized by your presence. This is why charismatic people seem almost magical. They're not necessarily saying anything extraordinary. They're simply being in a way that makes others feel extraordinary. Now, this is where those two words come in. Psychologist Carl Rogers, one of the pioneers of humanistic psychology, built his entire career around a single idea. Humans have a deep, primal need to feel unconditionally understood, not judged, not analyzed, just understood. Rogers referred to this as empathic resonance, and he discovered that people who could create this feeling, even briefly, were seen as highly attractive, trustworthy, and compelling, not just in romantic situations, but in every form of human connection. So what are the two words? The two words are "you seem." Now, before you think that's it, let me explain exactly why these two words work on a psychological level most people never consciously recognize. The phrase "you seem" does three powerful things at the same time. First, it signals observation. When you say "you seem," you're showing that you've been paying attention to her specifically. Not your phone, not the surroundings, not your own nervousness. Her. In a world full of distractions, being genuinely observed feels rare. It feels intimate, and it immediately sets you apart. Second, it creates curiosity without pressure. "You seem" isn't a fixed statement. It's not "you are adventurous," which can feel assumptive.